Parents, your support means everything to your athletes and to us at Varsity Media. To help us continue bringing you the best YouTube coverage of high school sports on Long Island, we invite business owners to consider a sponsorship on our broadcasts. If you own a business, consider a sponsorship for your athlete's team. It's a great way to show support, gain visibility, and keep the coverage going strong. Join us in making a difference. Contact Varsity Media today to learn more about broadcast sponsorship opportunities by emailing ben@varsitymedia.net.
From Sal Champi Field at Boomer Esiason Stadium, an early season tilt of defending county champions, the Warriors of Wantagh. They have made the trip out to Suffolk County to take on the boys from EI, the Redmen. It should be an exciting showdown here early season on the Varsity Media Sports Network. Well, we welcome you inside the booth here. Dylan Butler alongside Brian Soper. And Soap, this is game 3 of the week for you and I, and the one that I think we were both looking forward to the most, as we mentioned in the open, right? Two teams that won coveted county championships a year ago. Wantagh, first one in 20 years. EI, first one in program history. But they also both come in off of a loss in the LIC, right? And that kind of fuels both of these teams who return a lot of talent from those squads. So it's a game that, you know, in your conference schedule doesn't mean a whole lot, but it means a lot to these two teams here tonight.
Yeah, both coaches with the same philosophy: play the best teams possible, have game, will travel. Want to prepare for the playoffs, and playing a tough competitive schedule, right, is going to make you that much better. Nothing better than a preseason matchup: Nassau-Suffolk. The best in Class B, Suffolk versus Class C, Nassau. This is going to be awesome. Yeah, it's going to be a ton of fun here tonight. When we talk about Wantagh, they do have a game under their belts. They beat Kellenberg early season. They scored 18 goals in that one, and that's the thing that really strikes you about this Wantagh team, right? Yes, they lose a Jake Martini, but they are absolutely loaded in their attack. Passione, Martini, Giacobello, another 2 Martinis, right? Joe Nicholson, Carter Loftman, so many of these guys, major impact players on last year's team, and they are back to do more damage this year. I think that's what makes it a great matchup, right? Wantagh returns all that firepower. East Islip lost some of that scoring power, but their defense is returning. Possibly the best goalie on Long Island we're going to see today. It's just a great matchup. Strength on strength that I think is going to be something that I think the entire Long Island lacrosse community is going to be watching this one, checking out the score. Well, I hope they're watching it all throughout. I think maybe we might have a few checking in now. But, yeah, when we talk about Wantagh, right, the players to watch, and we could have named a bevy of their guys, right? But you and I, throughout their playoff run last year, loved the game that Dylan Martini brings. He is wearing that coveted number 22 this year, right? He'll be in the midfield. We'll see him on attack. He's facing off today as well. He brings so much. And Johnny Gendels as well as that D-midi, tough, scrappy, gritty, ground ball guy. Two instrumental parts of this team. Yeah, Dylan Martini wearing that coveted 22 for Wantagh, 115 career goals, going to West Point, Thorpe Award winner, over 30 touchdowns for Wantagh this year. Just a crazy athlete, and Gendels brings that toughness. Coach Polo loves his grittiness, and if Wantagh is gonna repeat, right, they're gonna have to really find their way defensively with some new guys and a new goalie. And you mentioned for East Islip, right? Last year, it was a year they were building to, right? Under Tommy Zumo, they were getting close. They went on deep runs, but finally last year, 17-2, they win their first ever county championship. They beat Smithtown West. They lose to Southside in the Long Island Class B final. You mentioned the guys who graduated and they lost: Matt McEntee,
right? The Ray Enners Award winner as the best player in Suffolk County. He is now at Syracuse. Matt Ferraro now at Boston University. But again, so many guys back for the Redmen. You have another McEntee up on attack. You got Ethan Bernardo, Sean Hannigan as well, and a guy named Ryan Parker, who we'll talk about. He's a guy who was injured for a good chunk of last year. He is healthy, and he's ready to ball out this year. And that's not even mentioning, as you said, so many returning guys on the defense.
Yeah, 21 seniors. You sprinkle in some young talent, right? They scrimmaged Farmingdale and Hills to get ready for today. I just can't wait to see Ryan Parker play. Rutgers commit. It's his team this year, and Coach Zumo's, handing him the keys, saying, let's go, get this Redmen started. Yeah,
when we look at the impact players, indeed, Parker, one of those guys. The Rutgers commit, he is the alpha of alphas on this team. You see his numbers from a year ago, and that's because he was limited. Brendan McCaffrey on the other side, right? He was a guy who transferred in last year from Chaminade, kind of got his feet wet, learning the new system, new coach, new teammates, but he is very comfortable in his skin as the #1 defenseman this year for EI.
Yeah, McCaffrey committed to Wesleyan. He's grown a bit, right? Got a little stronger in the weight room. And Ryan Parker, Coach Zumo says, two-way midfielder. He can guard the best guy on every team, not just a scorer, not just a dodger. You see him on the wings, playing defense, just an all-around stud midfielder and a captain for the Redmen.
Yeah, those are serious impact players for both teams, right? It's going to be so much fun here tonight at East Islip High School. So we look at Wantagh and their starting lineup.
About the Port Mesh jerseys, I love it.
and again, familiar names for the most part, right? Passione and Luke Martini. Luke, the younger brother. He's a freshman this year, so he scored 55 goals last year. He didn't even enter the high school yet. So he's a guy, obviously, to keep an eye out for. Dylan Martini, we said all over the field, right? I know that you really love Loffman and Nicholson as well. And listen, they've got some guys as well defensively back, right? Forthifer was a big part of that team a year ago. Campese, Dankenbrink, this is a loaded Wantagh side.
Yeah, find me a better midfield, right? 3 guys you can roll out there than what Wantagh puts out there. And Passione, I thought he had one of the best seasons of any attackman on Long Island last year, over 100 points. Villanova commute, IQ for days.
And in the cage for Wantagh, the king is gone, but listen, Gianni Pissarro is bringing it, right? King Conklin graduated, but Pissarro was a terrific backup last year, and this year it is his ship to sail.
Yeah, you got to replace 398 career saves by Conklin, but 3 years of varsity experience for Gianni. Filled in last year when Conklin was out. He had double-digit saves against Kellenberg, GC, Bayport, Southside. The kid's ready. It's his turn. Co-MVP of the Rising Junior game. It's his show. Mount St. Mary commit. Let's roll Gianni Pissarro.
Let me take a look at the Wantagh head coach. It is James Polo, year number 7 for Polo, 1997 graduate of Seaford. He's been in this district for 23 years. He is ready to roll. We'll have the East Islip starters, the keys, as well when we return here on the Varsity Media Sports Network. What happened to 0?
Parents, your support means everything to your athletes and to us at Varsity Media. To help us continue bringing you the best YouTube coverage of high school sports on Long Island, we invite business owners to consider a sponsorship on our broadcasts. If you own a business, consider a sponsorship for your athlete's team. It's a great way to show support, gain visibility, and keep the coverage going strong. Join us in making a difference. Contact Varsity Media today to learn more about broadcast sponsorship opportunities by emailing ben@varsitymedia.net.
For the latest news in high school sports, be sure to check out varsitymedia.net or follow us on social media at Varsity Media.
When it comes to live streaming, Varsity Media does it all. Athletic events, concerts, musicals, graduations, even weddings. Trust Varsity Media when it comes to your live stream event. Contact us today to learn more about Varsity Media's live streaming services at 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
Back at Sal Champion Field, Dylan Butler, Brian Soper, our entire Varsity Media crew. Time to take a look at the starters for East Islip. And as we mentioned, right, some familiar names there as well. Bernardos and Hannigan. It's hard to believe Sean Hannigan is just a sophomore, right? He's been such a big part of this attacking line. Connor McEntee, the freshman lefty attacker. Matt McEntee's cousin. He is in the starting attack. And then you've got Parker, Kalinowski, Black as your first midfield. See the defensemen, right, as well, right? Some dudes back there led by McCaffrey, Rizzo, and Kinnear. And in the cage, listen, you shouted them out, right? Like, Zumo says, I think I have the best midfielder. And I said, I think you also might have the best goalie in the county. He said, yeah, I would agree with that. You see the numbers for Wantagh a year ago. The Villanova commit, 215 saves. He made some terrific saves, and he also made some viral moments, right? We take you back to Syosset High School early in the year last year. This technically I don't think is a save, and it is also not something that is legal, but what a moment that was for Drew Walendowski.
Yeah, I call it the flying Walendowski, right? David Desquie, one of the best players last year in all of Long Island. Whoop, right? Unbelievable save by him. Just has the knack for the great save. Plays with an edge. He says he's a 4.0 student too. He says favorite subject is math, and you know he might be a problem for Wantagh today.
And there you see Tommy Zumo, fourth season at the helm, 2001 graduate of Islip High School. Has done such a great job of building this program into a perennial powerhouse. Let's take a quick look at the keys, Soap, as we are just about ready for the start of this one.
Yeah, win the GB battle. Polo, right, wants to win on the ground. Smart decisions in transition. Play fast but smart, and ride and cause some turnovers. East Islip, play our game. Zumo, no bad shots. We don't want to create transition and limit Passione's touches. The kid can really play.
Opening face-off, we've got Martini facing off for Wantagh. And facing off is Canfora, returning for EI.
Yeah, that's Canfora, WestCon commit.
And an early flag as well, so Canfora wins it. We've got a 30-second push.
Yeah, East Islip scrimmage Hills the other day, and they have Chicas, a really great face-off guy. Zuma was very happy that it was like a 50-50 with him. You know, he's going to Hofstra, so some early season confidence with Canfora.
So our first look at the East Islip man up. I think the official's taking a look over. Not sure if it's a shot clock issue. The shot clock here at East Islip behind the fencing. There it is, by the goalpost, I think. The official just wants to make sure we're good to go. Kalinowski gets this man up started.
Zumo's one of the best at diagram and man up plays. Let's look for something out the box. Two, 3, 1 to start.
Kalinowski up top. Ooh, in and out of the stick. Parker is trying to line it up. Now it's a ground ball battle. Stayed with EI, an opportunity. What a great look down low, and the finish by Hannigan.
It all starts with a GB. Stony Brook commit Kalinowski scoops up a GB, finds an open man. Unbelievable job sprinting out of the pack. Finds Black, finds Hannigan. Sophomore knows what to do. Super experienced. 19 Gs last year for Hannigan. Great pass by Black, but it starts with a Kalinowski GB. and sprinting out of trouble.
And Wantagh really bet on getting that ground ball, right? They put so many numbers on it when EI did get it. Obviously, it was an odd man situation as a face-off win. Here comes Parker.
Yeah, great start at the X for Canfora.
Low shot, nice save by Pissarro. And the rebound's potted home by Parker.
The East Islip garbage men, right? Picking up GBs and creating some goals. Nice save by Pissarro on Black. Rebound.
East Islip goal scored by number 24.
The Rutgers commit. Coach Breck's going to love that. Ryan Parker. 23 goals last year. He's going to score more than that this year. What a start for East Islip.
Yeah, he is the engine of this train that EI is hoping to ride up state this year.
Yeah, you see Hannigan and then you see Parker. Coach Zumo talked about, maybe we're a little more balanced this year. Right? Maybe we'll get 75 goals from 4 guys instead of 2. So far, so good. 2 different scorers.
So Martini wins that faceoff. First settled offense for the Warriors. There's Giacobello.
Looks like they're going to so it's Martini on Parker.
How about this, huh? Best on best. Martini tries to get topside. Parker, little cross check. Martini back up.
Yeah, get your popcorn for that matchup.
Nicholson up top, hands it off to Giacobello. Tries to swim and get topside.
It's always interesting to see the matchups, right? Who gets pulled, who doesn't. Obviously, you see the trust the East Islip staff has with Parker.
Here comes Loftman going downhill. Loftman fires wide.
Yeah, Tim Cox is on the staff for East Islip. They're over 30 years at Bayshore. Great defensive mind. See how he matches up with the Warriors.
And that's where the shot clock comes into effect, right? You just dump it in the corner late in the shot clock. But look at Wantagh. They're going to ride and make it difficult.
Yeah, it's a 10-man ride. Pissarro's out, but
Kalinowski does a great job to get around that. That's Owen Madden now.
yeah, Wantagh went 10-man. Pissarro came out, got into it a little bit late after that pass already got to the midfield.
And up top, Braden Black heading to Cortland next year. Black tries to go downhill. Hannigan lost it. Goal line extended. Ground ball again. Madden chases after it, but Wantagh comes away. Look at Nicholson, the punt return.
Great check by Chase Dannenbrink.
And now Wantagh back on attack. Loftman, the Albany commit.
So now they're shutting off Martini. Right, Dylan's getting shut off.
Still found a way to get himself free.
Yeah, it's hard to shut off that kid.
Here comes Martini, goes low. Walendowski the save.
Off hip, no problem. Gets tested by one of the best players on Long Island. Off hip, controls the rebound, pitches it. Villanova's getting a great one with him.
Jack Kalinowski. Takes Loftman to X, spins. Looks for options, finds a good one in Parker. Left shot in the finish. Vinny Fantuzzi.
Great shot by number 2. It's the 3rd different scorer for East Islip. Kind of like a, not transition, but, they just kind of got settled and go hard. No slide, cans it down low. What a well-placed shot by Fantuzzi. Injured last year, Swiss Army knife. Well, he just brought his scoring tool with him early on.
And EI with a 3-0 lead. That faceoff won by Harkin. Jake Harkin, the junior. It's another position too, right? Will Greaves was so great at the faceoff X a year ago for Wantagh, so you need to try to get a lot of those wins back.
Yeah, Greaves was ridiculous last year, over 70% against some of the best faceoff guys on Long Island. big, big, big shoes to fill, and it's not going to be just one guy, right? It's going to be kind of by committee to start the season.
So again, Loftman will QB up top. You go to X now. Getting top side and going high, the younger Martini, Luke Martini.
It's only a freshman, folks. He definitely looks bigger, stronger, faster, right? As a freshman, gets top side. Unbelievable IQ to take that extra 2 steps to square up and beat a goalie like Wantagh. Unbelievable IQ for him. Extra 2 steps, pay dirt for Martini.
Yeah, Martini isn't that 8th grader trying to find his way anymore, right? He has found his way with a 55-goal year last year. He's gotten bigger physically and also improved mentally as well after that year that he had last year. Another face-off win for Canfora.
Yeah, 3 goals for Luke against Kellenberg.
Parker denied.
Yeah, nice save. It's going to feel good for Pizarro to get that one. Great outlet.
Wantagh saved by Gianna Forsara.
So up and down we go. So kind of as advertised, right, in this first quarter.
Yeah, Wantagh scored over 13 goals a game. Zumo's goal for this year was 13 or 14 goals.
And now you're locking off the younger Martini.
Little chess match happening here.
Nicholson. Nicholson!
It's the second time in a row that the Wantagh offensive players have been able to get to the middle. Right, Nicholson also going to Villanova, right? Get used to this, boys. You know, Walendowski, Nova, Nicholson, Nova, Passione, Nova. Great job with his left hand getting to the middle of the field. It's such a big, I can't emphasize it enough. Get that extra 2 steps to get to the middle when you're shooting from a better angle makes it so much tougher on the goalie.
Nicholson a year ago, 35 goals as a sophomore. Clean win for Canfora. And now Hannigan. Smart, right? Hold it up.
Yeah, great handle by him.
Plus you want to make sure you get Parker right out of the box. Here's McEntee. Dad, Tim, was an All-American here at East Islip. Coach Dartmouth, Manhattan, Mount St. Mary's, Malloy, now at Middle Country. Here's Parker, gets downhill. Parker, save by Pissarro.
2 in a row by Pissarro, second grade athlete. Warriors are out in transition.
Wantagh saved by number 27, Gianni Pissarro.
Oh, the extra and the finish. Love the pass across the crease. And Matt Giacobello with the finish.
Are you kidding me with this look by Passione? 68 assists last year. I don't know if he had one nicer than this. Unbelievable find. Finds Giacobello. For a second there, I thought Walendowski could get that, but that pass is just ridiculous by Passione to a wide open Giacobello. Giacobello's got something to prove this year, right? The junior lefty.
Face-off won by Wantagh.
Great job by Harkin. Coach Poe loves his, his mentality to scrap it up. That was a clean one.
Yeah, he's 2 for 2, right? So Martini took the first one, and you know, if you can get Harkin going, now you don't have to get the wear and tear on Martini at the face-off X. Here's Loftman. We're tied at 3. Taking on Fantuzzi. Spins, goes down, little swim move. Good D by Fantuzzi. Stays alive. Passione.
Yeah, Passione's so good on those low angle GLE. Just shot that wide.
That's a close look you see there of Luke Martini on your screen. He does look bigger, right?
Yeah, it's not the same person.
And I think we're going to have a conversation perhaps about shot clock. Yeah, it was They were bringing it down. It was at 52. It reset on that shot, and the shot was wide, so they're going to bring it back down.
What must that be like, scoring 55 goals? You're sitting in an 8th grade class in the middle school. Yeah, I just scored 55 for the Class C champs.
Yeah, like all your best friends are high school kids. Like you're on an island there in middle school. Loftman, sidearm shot, fired it wide.
Yeah, he's an honorable mention All-County player from last year, 14 goals, committed to Albany. You see the size and the shooting ability.
Martini, Passione swims. The slide comes his way, low to high. Martini save Wantagh, but the rebound is knocked home.
We have seen some unbelievable second and third efforts so far to score these goals. I thought it was a great job by Billy Bast, right? Control with Passione, and the slide comes, slides adjacent. Martini takes a bouncer, boom, great save. Passione off, gets the rebound, right? He's a hoop player as well. Gets that rebound and dunks it. Unbelievable effort by Wantagh to dig back into this game.
Yeah, it was all EI early on, right? Now Wantagh, they take their first lead of this first quarter, 4-3. A violation on Harkin. Ooh, dangerous pass. Knocked down. Good defensive work. That was Luke Perfetti. And that's who you want to get it to, right? Nicholson. And here comes Martini with some space.
Yeah, get used to seeing these numbers out there. Most of these guys will even be back next year.
Yeah, that's the scary part, right? Loftman works it to X. Swim move back up top. Ooh, look at a shake and bake by Martini. Spins again, a little hezzy. Forced that one across the crease though. Good pickup, and here comes Parker, who can run for days.
Yeah, he's gonna fit into that NASCAR style offense of Rutgers.
Here's Connor McEntee at X. You mentioned before, right, that the lacrosse IQ, and Zumo loves those guys, right? The sons of coaches.
Yeah, and you got Sean Hannigan as well. His dad All-County from Sachem, also, you know, finished his career at Hofstra.
Parker, hands off. He plays catch with Black. Parker switches hands, lefty rip, wide.
Good backup. Luke Perfetti, second good play by him in the defensive end.
And he was a guy last year. Remember TJ Carlo was that main LSM, but he got hurt for a bit, so he stepped in, and you know, through some kind of limited minutes, you saw what he could potentially bring. Loftman gets eaten up, gets it to Martini though.
Yeah, Perfetti was up as a sophomore, so we're talking three years of experience on the varsity. Wantagh's done a great job getting the ball out of their end.
Goal line extended. Walendowski gets big.
The wall. Love how he saved that. I love when you catch it. Don't give it back to the other team. Clear it out.
And a good clear as well for EI. Here's McEntee. They're moving it quick, EI.
Black is such a key guy for, I think, this year for East Islip. He's got that 6'4", 6'5" frame.
Yeah, he has completely bought into being a lacrosse player, was a really standout swimmer, right? He was never sure, you know, I got swimming going on, I got lacrosse. And there he goes, back in black.
Didn't even need the swim move. He just went hard to his left hand. He takes off. You know, you got Luke Martini stuck down there on defense. Right, B squared, right? Bing's the corner.
Black is a guy, and this is the point, right? Great swimmer, but kind of realized, you know, maybe lacrosse is my future. So he stopped swimming, and he was the only player, Zumo said, that didn't miss a single workout, didn't miss a single winter league game, and he has been dialed in.
Yeah, got him a C on his chest, right? He becomes a captain. And doesn't have to change colors, right? He's going to be a red dragon, just keep wearing red.
That's it.
You know, he's that.
Well, I guess you bet on black, but you wear red.
I mean, with that frame, with that size, lefty, runs like a 4.6 40.
Here's Passione inside the final minute of what has been a phenomenal first quarter. Here's Martini.
If you like offense.
And goaltending, though.
Yeah, goaltending too.
Right?
Yeah, for sure. You ain't, you know, you're lucky you keep both of these teams under 15.
Martini goes high. And the backup was there. Here's Dylan Martini off the restart. Martini, oh, off the bar twice. Passione, great GB pickup. He's doubled. Wantagh out of his cage, and that's the way this first quarter comes to a close.
Unbelievable job. The senior. Take a lap after you score and ping a corner like that. Unbelievable job, Braden Black. He's kind of that surprise piece for East Islip. Got to replace some guys, but trust me, that kid can do it.
Bet on Black. 4-4 after one. You're watching it all right here in the Varsity Media Sports Network.
This is Jalen Brunson. You're watching Varsity Media.
Hey parents, Varsity Media is now offering ISO video of just your athlete. Why settle for the wide angle that shows every player on the field? With our ISO video, your athlete is front and center the entire game. This footage will help in creating highlight videos for college coaches to better pinpoint your athlete's play on the field. Watching our video will help your athlete improve progressively throughout the season and may lead to a college scholarship. Varsity Media is now booking ISO videos for the spring, but spots are limited. Contact us today for lacrosse, baseball, softball, and tennis by calling 516-403-2050 or emailing ben@varsitymedia.net.
I'm back here at Sal Champe Field. Look inside the EI huddle. We mentioned a year ago, right? 17-2. The first Suffolk Class B championship in the program's history. But they ended the season on a loss. Those 21 seniors you referred to before, including some young pieces now sprinkled in, they have additional expectations, right? They want to go even further this year.
Coach Zumo mentioned the term championship DNA, right? You're hoping that that DNA gets set in, and now it just becomes a thing where you expect every season East Islip's going to be back somewhere near that title game and looking for more, right? LIC, and then take that bus ride up Hobart this year, I believe, for the state title.
And cool, too, that these two teams are in different classifications, so they're able to play each other, right, early season. I mean, you could still play if you were in the same, but you're always kind of a little bit concerned about that potential Long Island Championship matchup.
Yeah, both coaches have a lot of respect for each other. I think Wantagh played Bayport Blue Point last year. Maybe they're a little bit down. It was a perfect time to slide this game in against two of Long Island's finest programs.
And on the other side, it was Syosset and EI. We showed you that viral moment, right, from Wantagh, and that was a game that couldn't happen because of scheduling. So the kind of the worlds not collided, but everything kind of worked out perfectly that we have this matchup. Here's Parker. Great pass. Firing it is Hannigan off the bar.
bar down at this end must have some magnets on it. We've seen a couple of balls hitting the pipe. Goalie's best friend.
Possession, though, stays with EI.
Great decision by Parker to find Hannigan there. Kind of slipped and rolled off the crease.
Hannigan was a guy, right? He's always been that IQ guy, the risk taker. But now he's being leaned on a little bit more to produce offensively.
Yeah, see if he can dodge it.
That took a deflection, goes out to midfield. A couple guys fishing for it, and it stays with EI.
Yeah, Rizzuto picked that one back.
Oh, Bernardos goes to the difficult area. He gets a crease violation, so it'll be Wantagh ball.
Yeah, Bernardo, Sacred Heart. First time we've called his name. Sacred Heart commit, 32 goals last year.
30 is Patrick Forthifer.
It's been a good clear for Wantagh so far. Find Nicholson.
Yeah, that's right. That was what it was here last year too, right? Find McEntee and just let him run.
Yeah, big win for Cuse today over UVA.
And they go up to Loftman. Loftman's got the shorty matchup in Fantuzzi.
Yeah, Loftman's been kind of the initiator so far for Wantagh.
Loftman, I think Walendowski got a piece. They'll reset the shot clock. I waited how many years to say that on the high school level, right? Here's Luke Martini off the restart. Passione. What a look! Passione and the dunk by Martini.
There's just something about Passione. When he starts to operate, you kind of start staring at him. Your eyes get glued to him. And he just has tremendous vision, right? Dylan Martini. It's like crazy that you lose that guy. Parker's staring at Passione because of how dangerous he is. Passione finds Martini for the dunk. Eyes are always up. Great find.
Well, you mentioned it before, right? When a guy like that has 68 assists a year ago, you take notice, certainly, of his feeding ability.
Yeah, just a balanced player. 3 goals, 4 assists in the opener against Kellenberg, picking up right where he left off. Dad was a great player at UMass. Good win for him today as the coach at Merchant Marine Academy.
Good win for UMass as well.
Go Gorillas.
One in their A-10 opener at St. Joe's.
That was for Coach Negus, right? He's tuning in.
So here comes Parker now. This one's kind of akin, right, to like a street basketball kind of like, I go up to IS-8 or you go to the Rucker, and Parker showing off his skills.
I mean, at some point you can't teach that, right? He's kind of stuck in between. Slide coming, doesn't matter. Sacrifices his body. High bouncers will go. Ryan Parker, Sumo calls him the engine. Well, vroom vroom, right? He's starting this thing up really well for East Islip.
He also calls him a killer, right? He is the alpha of alphas.
Yeah, just patient there. They're slid adjacent Wantagh, just not soon enough. That bounce shot just exploded off the turf.
5-5. Canfora goes backwards. Ball still loose. And the GB picked up by the Warriors. They want to call a timeout. Polo is trying to get the officials' attention. He does get that timeout, which keeps that possession.
Nice GB, PG, Falco, Junior, long stick mid. Nice job with him. Good timeout by Coach Polo.
Well, we got a busy slate here on the Varsity Media Sports Network. You and I will make a return trip to Manhasset, and Cold Spring Harbor will head there. That's always a fun one, man. Those teams get after it, huh?
Coach Bond's fired up, right? Eat, sleep, drink lacrosse, baby. It's here.
Bayport, Blue Point, West Islip out here in the 6-3-1. That should be a great one. Bosco, Chaminade. One of those regional showdowns, right? Wantagh and Port Washington. Syosset, Cold Spring Harbor. And then Rosalind, Bethpage, completes that upcoming slate. A lot more games as well. You want to make sure you hit that subscribe button on our YouTube channel. Now's a great time to book a Varsity Media Sportscast. Our professional announcers bring the stories of your athletes to life, highlighting their accomplishments and the hard work behind every game. With Varsity Media Sportscast, you can keep fans, family, and alumni connected. Even Jay Negus can be connected watching these sportscasts, even when they're far away. It's a perfect way to showcase your athletes and create lasting memories for everyone involved. Reach out now to book a sportscast at 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net. But yeah, Monday night under the lights, Manhasset, Cold Spring Harbor. We were at that game a year ago, and some fireworks a little bit, right? Some chippiness, play hard, a little chirping.
Yeah, I'll predict one goal game either way.
We were at Manhasset for their opener, a big win over Shoreham Wading River. And here's Loftman. Works it to X to Luke Martini. Fakes the feed.
East Islip's pushing out on the adjacents.
Up top, Jacobello tries to swim. Getting downhill, and the finish. Martini. He is not shaken, but stirred.
Just the shiftiness, the quicks, kind of clear out the side. It's sliding adjacent East Islip. Little wiggle and a shake, gets underneath. Little S dodge for Martini. Little Selly scrape the turf. He's used to scoring touchdowns and scoring G's. What an athlete Dylan Martini is.
And it's kind of cliche to say it, right? But when your best player is also your hardest worker, that's a big reason why he's wearing Scott DeVerne as number 22 this year.
Yeah, Polo was like, West Point, he had been an Albany commit, now West Point. He's like, he is a West Point kid. That's where he should be.
Look at this battle for the loose ball. And there's the younger Martini, picks it up.
Yeah, Jack Lee was cutting there at the pole.
And there is Martini. Yeah, he will join his cousin, right, up at West Point, first at the prep school. A year ago, all three Martinis were part of this championship-winning team. Here's Nicholson. Nicholson, the explosion, goes far post.
Yeah, they've done a good job. Wantagh's done a good job kind of, positioning their offense where they're taking away those adjacent slides, and it gets very difficult. We saw Martini and Nicholson on that kind of mid-wing. Makes it difficult to slide.
Now, the question was whether Walendowski got a piece. They're saying no because they're not resetting the shot clock, so it's at 19.
This is just tough, right? Do you slide to him or not?
Passione goes to X. A little shovel behind the back by Luke Martini.
It's just become so routine. We've seen it so much that it's like a casual just shovel goal, but there's nothing casual about it. Little set piece by the Warriors. Passione finds, is that Nicholson with the feed, who finds Martini on the crease. Yeah, just a great little set look. Drawing it up. Unbelievable job. I mean, you just run out of superlatives for the goals that the Martini scores. And he's only a freshman.
So now you've got both Martinis with a pair of goals. And Wantagh's got the 2-goal lead. So rinse and repeat now, right, for Wantagh?
Yeah, it's like you know who the 6 guys are going to be out there on every possession.
Loftman goes high.
It's just pick your poison. There's so many weapons. All 6 guys are dangerous.
Passione. Little shake, little bake, little spin cycle. It's on the turf. That's a tough one for Nicholson to try to pick up. It's still loose. Look at that battle for that ball.
Good job. Little goose by Grant Weiss.
And then McCaffrey ends up picking it up.
Yeah, Weiss is back from St. Anthony's, needs a little more game experience, but has a chance to be a really good one for East Islip.
Yeah, he didn't play for the St. Anthony's varsity, right? So he played JV. So that's where that transition comes in a little bit for him now. And feels like we haven't been on this side of the field for a minute.
Yeah, Zumo likes how Weiss kind of times those doubles. He's really smart.
Here comes Black, getting whacked from behind. Zumo wanted the penalty on that one. And there is a flag thrown. Let's see what this one is on.
Yeah, definitely Zumo called a timeout. I mean, it could be a dead ball or a live ball foul.
And this is going to be, I think, against Zumo. Because he was fired up. It'll be a 30-second against EI. So as we get restarted, I want to give you folks some notice that parents, listen, Varsity Media is now offering close-up video of just your athlete. This film pinpoints your son or daughter's play, helps them to improve throughout the season, and makes for a betting recruiting video. Included in our ISO videos, we'll post highlights of your athlete on our social media with over 70,000 followers. Spots are limited. Reach out today, 516-403-2050, or email jeff@varsitymedia.net.
The flag is on Wantagh. Only 5 guys going out there.
Yes, I think when I thought maybe it was on Zumo, it was a point. It was the flag and then the point towards the eye. But the point towards the eye was to signal the timeout. So another man-up opportunity now for EI. They cashed in on their first. Bernardo's up top.
See Parker popping from the crease.
Oh, and that's not what you want. In and out of the stick of Black. And it's only a 30-second man up, so Wantagh, an excellent opportunity, should they clear, to kill that. And again, that's what you do. You locate 2-5.
Must be called the Wildcat clear.
Might be just called the Nicholson clear. And now we are even. Coming out, Giacobello. Yeah, so when you try to scheme it up defensively, right? Not the easiest team to try to deal with, right? Like who gets the short stick matchup? That one was a loose ball in front. Scooped forward. Great job by McCaffrey, and he's off and running.
Yeah, unbelievable little hockey to himself. Gets it to space. Wesleyan commit. That was a much-needed GB.
And now it's a scrum out at midfield. Picked up numbers. But EI had called timeout first. Hannigan's like, Coach, I had it.
Yeah, it's one of those, you 50-50. You want to secure the possession. Who knows what would have happened? Maybe you score out of the timeout.
Well, it was the second and final timeout of this first half for Zumo. When you talked about so many guys, and listen, winning championships is part of it, right? But it's building the culture. It's also getting guys to go on and play college. Look at this list of current EI players with their college commitments.
Yeah, Ryan Parker, Wantagh at the top, Bernardo, Sacred Heart. They're a hot team. Little 1-goal win today. Stony Brook had a big win as well. Wesleyan, Westcon, Oneonta, Cortland. I'm sure those teams will play each other. The backup goalie, Ryan Hilbert. He's a great goalie as well, going to New Paltz. Unbelievable job by him. You know, and you got those guys playing in college as well, right? Matty Baldino, 50 goals last year. He dropped 3 for Pace today. The Redmen are going to college and are already in college and making names for themselves.
We mentioned, right, you lose off of last year's team. Matt McEntee, 34 goals and 50 assists, 276 career points. Part of just, I don't even know what you would call it, like a busload of guys from Long Island now playing up at Cuse. And then Matt Ferraro going to BU, 26 and 15 for him a year ago.
Yeah, Coach Sumo wants a goal from anybody right now. Got a little cold for the East Islip offense late since the first quarter.
So let's see what they've drawn up off the timeout.
Little set play.
Oh, Parker had that lined up. Gets the GB back, spins. Parker, and he will reset.
Yeah, they had like a little dive to the crease with a seal, trying to get Parker on a step down. Little scissor cut action.
Parker now up top.
It's a zone look by Wantagh.
Yeah, they slide his way. Sidearm goes GLE. Parker, Pissarro, the save.
He's been good, right? Started out, you know, a couple of them went in, but he's been locked in. That was a great save up top, controls the rebound. Been dynamite in the clearing game.
Unofficially, both goalies now with 5 saves.
Yeah, Pizarro committed to Mount St. Mary. Chris Ryan's getting a good goalie, a lot of experience. You know, and only a junior, right? He'll be back next year as well.
So here's Loftman now. A guy who's really kind of grown into his position, gotten bigger, and that was fired with some ferocity by Nicholson.
Yeah, he wants that one back. Nice look. Must be nice to be 6'4" and be able to throw over the top of defenses to guys like Nicholson and Passione and Martini.
Passione against McCaffrey. This is a good one. Passione goes low in the finish. He's not just a feeder, folks.
Dual threat. On the top of most watch lists for All-American this year. Little Lyle Thompson impersonation, right? Dangling that stick. How do you guard that? You cannot. You need to slide a little bit earlier if you're East Islip. It's a nice little run here by the Warriors.
2-2 for Passione, the Villanova commit. And still just a junior, one of the 4 captains of this Wantagh team.
Just a heady play to protect that stick. You know, again, not the biggest guy, but you learn how to play at that size and protect yourself, and he definitely knows how to do that.
Face-off win for the Warriors.
See Stacklick out there for Wantagh. He had 1 goal against Kellenberg.
Yeah, he came out of the box there. Yeah, that was that season opening 18-11 win. How about Dylan Martini having himself a day, right? 7-1. And there's a flag. So this will be against EI. I think it should be a 30-second push. That'll be a hold. So
this high wing dodge has been very, very difficult for East I to cover. Kind of gets back underneath, lefty S dodge, draws a foul on the slide by Rizzuto.
So 32nd man up, first man up opportunity for the Warriors. And pick your poison here, right? Passione inverted now.
Yeah, you got feeders, shooters. You got crafty finishers.
And you go top cheddar as well. What a terrific pass first from Passione and Giacobello.
Yeah, that's the second assisted goal from Jacobello from Passione. Just watch this skip coming up. Jacobello loading up. Big top corner. What a snipe by that kid, number 5, lefty. You know, a little illness last year limited him a bit. Something to prove. Don't sleep on number 5. He can obviously snipe the rock.
Now Wantagh on a bit of a run here. A 9-5 lead. And it's EI with the ball now. Kind of an important possession here, right, for East Islip with inside 90 seconds left in this first half.
Yeah, it's huge, right? You like to score one, maybe face one off, get another possession.
Here's Parker.
Real tight, compact defense by Wantagh.
Black up top.
It's a zone look by Wantagh.
Inside the final minute. Parker goes high and just misses the target.
Yeah, Wantagh has been playing really tough, compact defense. Short slides.
Madden on the restart. What a feed, trying to go far post. Kalinowski wide.
One thing you always have to watch out from both teams are that it's like basketball, right? We saw Houston win on an out-of-bounds play last night to get to the Elite 8. Watch something here. Picks with slips and finding shooters.
Hannigan tries to go high. Pissarro with the save.
He's been lights out in the second quarter, Pissarro. Not only saving it, but clean saves leading to transition. 25 seconds, Wantagh.
And they will utilize their final timeout of the first half. They'll try to draw something up here for the final 21.7 seconds. Maybe try to double up East Islip as well. So we talked about the college commits for EI. There's certainly a handful as well for Wantagh.
Yeah, that's crazy list, right? 2 go to Villanova, Martini to Army, right? Loftman to Albany. Just a crazy loaded, junior and senior class for Wantagh. Added to the guys from last year, and that's some class that they have, and I'm sure there's more guys coming up.
You mentioned right from last year, they beat Island Trees 13-4. They win the Nassau C title, just the second in program history and the first since 2001. And then from there, they lost to Bayport Blue Point, that senior-laden Phantom squad. Tight one as well, right? 9-7. But you mentioned the guys who graduated. Jake Martini, an All-American a year ago, 81 points up at Army Prep. Kyle Conklin, a 67% save percentage. Will Greaves, 72% from the face-off X. He's at Adelphi. TJ Carlo, the LSM we mentioned before, he also at Adelphi.
Yeah, Polo wants to be the last team standing this year.
Here's Loftman.
Yeah, a little mumbo look, 1-4. Uh-oh.
Martini!
Just great efficiency on offense. Just unselfish lacrosse. Looked like a zone look coming out of the timeout. Loftman with a great find to Martini. Backhand, step down, doesn't matter. The kid scores goals.
His third of this first half.
10 spot for the Warriors.
And remember too, right, it was EI, was it 3-0 early on? Another face-off win, and these guys can go fast from midfield. That one does not find the back of the net, but Wantagh, their offense, man, they get it going. Pick your poison, pick your martini soap. How do you like it?
A little step down. Hammer time, top corner. Shake and stir, doesn't matter. Tastes good. Wantagh on top of the Redmond.
Halftime here at East Islip. It's Wantagh with a 10-5 lead. You're watching it all on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Parents, your support means everything to your athletes and to us at Varsity Media. To help us continue bringing you the best YouTube coverage of high school sports on Long Island, we invite business owners to consider a sponsorship on our broadcasts. If you own a business, consider a sponsorship for your athlete's team. It's a great way to show support, gain visibility, and keep the coverage going strong. Join us in making a difference. Contact Varsity Media today to learn more about broadcast sponsorship opportunities by emailing ben@varsitymedia.net.
For the latest news in high school sports, be sure to check out varsitymedia.net or follow us on social media at Varsity Media.
When it comes to live streaming, Varsity Media does it all. Athletic events, concerts, musicals, graduations, even weddings. Trust Varsity Media when it comes to your live stream event. Contact us today to learn more about Varsity Media's live streaming services at 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
This is Jalen Brunson. You're watching Varsity Media.
Hey parents, Varsity Media is now offering ISO video of just your athlete. Why settle for the wide angle that shows every player on the field? With our ISO video, your athlete is front and center the entire game. This footage will help in creating highlight videos for college coaches to better pinpoint your athlete's play on the field. Watching our video will help your athlete improve progressively throughout the season and may lead to a college scholarship. Varsity Media is now booking ISO videos for the spring, but spots are limited. Contact us today for lacrosse, baseball, softball, and tennis by calling 516-403-2050 or emailing ben@varsitymedia.net.
High school sports fans, Varsity Media is the exclusive live stream partner of Nassau County Championships. To live stream fall, winter, and spring championship events, head to varsitymediapass.com to order. Now accessible on smart TVs. Varsity Media is your home for the Nassau County Championships. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel for upcoming schedules and content, and on social media at Varsity Media.
He's got room to go. Merrill towards the end zone. Lost his lid. Touchdown!
JJ Damo, face on, stay on athlete. Controlling the face-off. That's 3 in a row now.
You're watching Varsity Media, New York's high school sports network. For all the latest Varsity Media updates, including our game schedules, be sure to follow us on social media at Varsity Media, the home for New York high school sports. Varsity Media is now opening up our schedule to any team looking to be on a sportscast. Watching yourself on camera is okay, but hearing your name on a Varsity Media sportscast is like you're a pro.
And look at this opportunity. Feldman behind. Jersey pulled. Feldman! Feldman!
The loose ball, Keyshawn White has it. He's just going to let it fly. Oh! Keyshawn White from half court. That is cash! What a way to end the third quarter.
Look at this. Merrill. No slide. No problem. Gary Merrill goes top corner.
Varsity Media offers sports coverage for any sport, and our coverage airs live and on demand so everyone can watch the game. Now is the time to be a star on Varsity Media. Contact us to book a sportscast today at 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net. Are you a local business looking for new and creative ways to promote your company? Varsity Media offers affordable rates that can get your message across to a demographic of 18 to 54 years of age. Our follower base across social media is 50,000 strong, and our viewership numbers per game are in the thousands. Don't blow your advertising budget on old staples like TV and radio media. Reach out to Varsity Media to get the best bang for your buck.
Parents, your support means everything to your athletes and to us at Varsity Media. To help us continue bringing you the best YouTube coverage of high school sports on Long Island, we invite business owners to consider a sponsorship on our broadcasts. If you own a business, consider a sponsorship for your athlete's team. It's a great way to show support, gain visibility, and keep the coverage going strong. Join us in making a difference. Contact Varsity Media today to learn more about broadcast sponsorship opportunities by emailing ben@varsitymedia.net.
For the latest news in high school sports, be sure to check out varsitymedia.net or follow us on social media at Varsity Media.
When it comes to live streaming, Varsity Media does it all. Athletic events, concerts, musicals, graduations, even weddings. Trust Varsity Media when it comes to your live stream event. Contact us today to learn more about Varsity Media's live streaming services at 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
Back at Sal Ciampi Field at Boomer Esiason Stadium in East Islip, the Warriors, those guys right there with the lead, John Gendels, their short stick D midi. So let's take a look at some of those first half stats, some big time offensive numbers.
Yeah, started out East Islip. Wantagh closed the second half strongly, right, building up this lead. 21-14 to the shots. Face-offs pretty equal. Both goalies have been really good at not only making saves but controlling rebounds. Right, man up, 1 for 1 with Wantagh, 1 for 2 for East Islip. Special teams, are very, very important. Sometimes the toughest things to get adjusted to earlier in the year.
It is Harkin for Wantagh and Kenfora for EI. Chase has taken all of them for East Islip, and it's been a mix. Martini early, but then Harkin got it going, and he's taken him since. Great GB from him. And it is Wantagh possession to start this third quarter. When we talk about individual stats, Luke Martini with 3, Matt Giacobello, Dylan Martini with 2 apiece. How about 2 and 3 for Devin Passioni? Joe Nicholson with a goal and an assist. Carl Lofman with an assist as well.
Yeah, the Wantagh offense is an absolute defensive coach's nightmare. Who do you slide to? Who do you not slide to? When do you slide? Where do you slide from? It's just really difficult.
Lofman swims, lefty, rip, wide.
That was a great face-off win by Harkin. Nice little crafty ground ball to get it to the offense.
I feel like he's going to be a key, right? Because if you can, again, we mentioned it before in the first half, but if you can get going, you could avoid having Dylan Martini take some face-offs.
Yeah, and it's got to be, for him, it's got to be exciting, right? Just get the ball, get it to those guys, and, be a key cog in this team looking to make a run.
Passione, save, rebound, pops loose. Nicholson out to Dylan Martini, and that shot is wide.
Yeah, good extra step by Passione, shooting through some pressure. Ridiculous save by Walendowski to get a piece of that. That's just all quicks. That's all instincts by him.
It's a new shot clock for Wantagh after that Walendowski save. Loftman pops it out to Luke Martini, back to Loftman. You mentioned it before, right? Parker, this isn't him getting stuck on the field. This is what he does, right? Really good defensive midi, but nothing he could do on that one, as that one snuck through from Nicholson.
Yeah, just kind of, you see him get to the GLE. It looks like he went to throw a feed, and it somehow got deflected into the net.
Oh yeah, it went off of Walendowski's noggin, it looks like.
Yeah, he's trying to feed that cross crease, and sometimes it doesn't matter, right? These guys just know how to score goals.
Great look by our Ron Pierre on that replay. So 11-5 now, the lead, and then Harkin again, another face-off win.
Yeah, we've seen Nicholson in the clearing game. We've seen him up top. We saw him invert there. There's just nothing he can't do.
So now EI, they've got to figure something out here on this side of the field, where we mentioned in the open they do have a lot of experience back.
They've been getting stops, right? But Wantagh's done a good job getting it back. Any GB in the offensive end has gone Wantagh's way.
Martini spins, tries to get topside, back up top. We'll reverse it. Loftman now. Loftman, lefty, gets his hands extended, and that one was wide.
Yeah, you want to see him maybe a little more downhill there, get himself, into that dirty area, especially against a goalie like Walendowski. Fading away, it's going to be tough to beat him up top.
Passione with 11 on the shot clock. Spins on McCaffrey. Little shovel out in front. Goes out to midfield. That's where Parker is. Great GB by Parker. Now he pumps the brakes. Make sure that he gets the guys on. And a big possession now for EI.
Yeah, it's difficult. You want to rest your defense. You've played a lot of defense, but you look up, you're trailing by 6. So you got to kind of go, but you want to be patient.
Here's Black. EI scoring in that first half. Parker with a pair. And then Hannigan, Black, and Fantuzzi with one each. And then an errant pass and a turnover for the Redmen.
Yeah, tough look. I saw Hannigan looking backside. It's just difficult to throw through that many sticks accurately. Nicholson's been as good as it gets in the clearing game.
Nicholson, I thought he was going to right the cage there. Loftman swims up top to Martini, to his older brother Dylan.
He swims on the swimmer.
Dylan Martini, Walendowski climbs the ladder.
Great save, way to stand tall. Only 5'8", but he plays a lot bigger in there. There's no slouching when he's in the net. Great job.
This is not the 10-man, but still, Wantagh's ride is very difficult to deal with. Here's Parker. Martini was on him from behind. Parker! That was off the pipe, I think. There is a flag down. So EI will go man up.
Has to be 5 or 6 saves in a row by Pizarro. Took one off the dome there.
Black, lefty, finish. Much needed goal for EI.
I love that move. I love that shot placement. He beat Pizarro up high last time. This time he goes short side on the lefty. Unbelievable spot. No one's getting that. He's the sleeper, I'm telling you. Right, East Islip, right, if they're going to make a run, right, 15 in red, right, he's going to be a huge cog to this East Islip machine.
And that was an and one as well, because it's also a 1 minute slash against Wantagh.
Oh, to be 6'4" and left-handed, Dill.
I got the left-handed part down, but. So a man up face-off for East Islip. You want to come this way if you're Kenfora. That's where Black is. Kenfora goes backwards, wins it to himself, finds Black, and now EI. 1 for 2 in the first half, man up.
Great job by Canfor. Not all face-offs are made equal. That was a huge one.
Connor McEntee out to Black. Parker up top.
Cut to a 1-4.
Bernardos lost it. And here comes Wantagh the other way.
Great time, one-time GB, Luke Perfetti.
Passione! A backbreaker for Wantagh.
It all starts with a one-time GB. Luke Perfetti, number 11, picks it off the carpet, gets it to Johnny Gendels. Finds Passione, number 1 in your program. Got to apologize to that corner, Devin. Unbelievable shot. How quickly it goes from one end to the other. A man up for EI turns into a Passione rip.
A man down goal for Wantagh. Passione now with 3 and 3. 12-6 the lead for the Warriors. And Harkin went early. So for East Islip, you want to shake that goal off quick. You're still man up here.
Yeah, let's see if we can get some other guys going. Kalinowski, we haven't called his number much lately, number 8. Committed to Stony Brook.
Bernardos. Hannigan, we're even. Parker! Pissarro, a tremendous save.
He's so good at pitching it.
And look at the outlet. Nicholson.
It's like 7-Eleven, he's always open.
And that was an errant pass from Nicholson. Tried to go backwards.
It was a great little set play by East Islip. They had about a few seconds left in the man up. Got it to Parker. Perhaps wants to place it a little better. Hit Pizarro in the belly.
But even on that missed pass to Mandolin, it still stays with Wantagh. Luke Martini. And there's Nicholson again. Kalinowski on him, tries to swim. Lefty rip off the bar.
That was filthy.
Big GB picked up, though, by Glendon Kinnear.
That mid-wing dodge has been a killer for Wantagh.
Kalinowski. Out of the box is Black.
Looks like zone by Wantagh.
Kalinowski, lefty rip. Wide. Stays with East Islip.
Looks like they just jumped into a man-to-man, went from zone to man.
Bouncer by Black. Off the mark. We stay with East Islip. Madden. And I think we're going to have I think they reset the shot clock when perhaps it shouldn't have been. Or no, I think we're right. We're good at 59. Here comes Black downhill. Takes the cross check, fires it wide.
Yeah, just really sloughed down, whether it's man or zone, kind of mixing in and out of it, but they're just so tightly packed, this Wantagh defense. Makes for really short slides and quick decisions by East Islip.
Madden, the freshman, up to Black. Gendel's on him. Tried to go to X. Pissarro picked it off.
The ball has not been in his stick very long when he outlets it.
Gendels, we're going to go quick. Walendowski, terrific save on Lofman.
Yeah, great job with that rebound, right? It's been going all Yellow's way when it gets on the turf.
Scrum for this GB. It's now a yard sale. It's now a flag.
Just everything GB-wise. Coach Polo had it as his key. Ground balls, GBs.
And that's so much, listen, we talked about all their offensive stars and all the guys who do all the pretty things, right? The viral things, but this team wins championships based on doing things like that, getting GBs. And how about that low finish by Dylan Martini?
Yeah, he's done that a few times. Just comes out of the box, screaming out of the box, using his speed. Just a ridiculously well-placed shot. See Lofman sets a screen. Just a great shot by Dylan Martini. 7 goals in the first game. Pushing his total over 120 career goals for 22.
And that penalty stays on the board as well. So it's a man up face-off for Wantagh.
Yeah, you talk about the keys for Coach Polo, right? Win the X, right? They've done a really good job there, at least making it a 50-50. GB battle, they're dominating, play fast and unselfish. I'd say so far 3 for 3.
And Harkin comes away with it. Canfor, though, still going after it. Here comes Wantagh man up. They capitalize on their only man up of the first half. As the rain starts to fall here at Sal Ciampi Field. Passione, Martini, the skip, and the finish. Lofman.
Yeah, Lofman's been the initiator. This time he gets a skip look. Unbelievable look over the top. Luke Martini finds the big lefty who buries the ball down low on Walendowski. They seem to have more success so far down low on this great keeper for East Islip.
So now every one of your starting attack, and everyone on your first midfield has scored a goal for Wantagh.
Yeah, super balanced, just a ton of firepower. And when your best players are unselfish players, guarding them becomes very difficult.
And now if you're East Islip, right, you've got it puts so much pressure on this side of the ball now, right? Because you need goals. We've seen a few times where they've come down and maybe they're gripping the sticks a little bit tight, some turnovers.
Yeah, hit a single, right? You don't need the home run. Make the easy look.
Kalinowski fires wide. There's Black. It's now Madden at X. Spins there. Parker's up top. There he is. Parker now trying to get downhill.
Yeah, just a quick sloughed in zone look for Wantagh. He's done a great job mixing it up.
It's a great look from Black to go inside to McEntee. And there's Pissarro again. Ooh, that's one of the rare mistakes in the clearing game. And still, right, you still get the GB out of it.
Yeah, GB animals, right? Like hungry hippos on those ground balls today for Wantagh. That's what Johnny Gendels does. Another save by Pissarro. He's been lights out. I'd say, midway the second quarter, he made a couple, got his confidence. I think it looks like a beach ball right now for 2-7.
And Soap, it bears repeating, right? 3-0 early on, everything going EI's way. Look at the numbers since, right? 14-6. Bouncer, Walendowski to save on Martini.
Good job, right? Anything that's above his kneecaps, he's been all over. Great save. Kind of have 2 down here, a little 2 down pressure ride by Wantagh. Matching feet.
There's McCaffrey.
Offsides.
Well, I think they're going to get him on the hit, because that's the argument from the Wantagh bench, right?
Yeah, they were definitely offsides because they were matching feet on the ride. One guy went over. But you count forward, so I'm not sure.
We'll take a look at the call coming our way. Yeah, and you can see Polo, right? That's what he wanted. He's like, listen, they were off. Whatever kind of happens after really shouldn't matter. I think we haven't actually still got, I don't think there's a signal yet. It will be man up for East Islip. But is it a 30-second or a minute?
Yeah, usually I'd say 32 seconds, right? If it was a minute foul, maybe you hold it for no face-off. I think if you're Coach Zumo, you want to get it. You would want to get a goal if you can before the end of this quarter. Maybe get you some momentum.
It is Luke Martini in the box. I think Zumo wants an explanation here, and you see the 2 head coaches now talking. Such a great amount of respect, right, between those 2 and our conversations leading up to this one. Zumo said, in the club game has coached a lot of the Wantagh guys, right? So he knows them well. Polo knows Zumo for a long time.
How about 2006, Del, right? Coach Zumo's first job was with Soap and Tower at Deer Park, the Falcons. We had a little goalie named Kavanaugh, went to Princeton.
I am a fan when you refer to yourself in third person. All right, let's see. Do we finally get it?
If you called me Brian, I wouldn't answer.
Believe this is a push, so it should be a 30-second. Are they 2 down? I think they're 2 down, Wantagh. Yeah, so they've also got Mendelin in as well. So EI in the final 32 seconds.
Yeah, Polo's not happy. He wanted an offsides, and now he winds up 2 men down. Yeah. Insult to injury.
Little hidden ball trick. Black, the kick out to Hannigan. Kalinowski. Parker!
He parked that one in the top corner.
His third. It's a man-up goal.
Yeah, he's ready, loaded, catches it loaded, fires it to the top corner. Has not been easy to beat Pissarro this game. That's high heat by Ryan Parker.
Kalinowski, the Stony Brook commit, one of the captains as well for this EI team. He picks up an assist.
I love that. Score a goal, go right to the wing, and go muck it up.
So 17 seconds left. Harkin wins it to himself. Big win for Wantagh. Goes back to Pissarro. Pissarro to Mandolin. Just sends it towards the cage. Walendowski, that's an easy one for him, but you mentioned it before, right, Soap? You graduate the king, a guy who made a ton of saves, but Gianni's like, hey, we're going to be fine. I got you.
Yeah, graduate King Kong, right? Maybe the G's for Godzilla, right? Pissarro locked in. Look at that. Unbelievable vision, right? Finding that ball, hunting rebounds, pitching it. I think it's the game he needed, right? Kellenberg, right, maybe gave up 12 goals. Not today, says Pissarro.
14-7 Wantagh after 3. You're watching it all right here in the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Hey parents, Varsity Media is now offering ISO video of just your athlete. Why settle for the wide angle that shows every player on the field? With our ISO video, your athlete is front and center the entire game. This footage will help in creating highlight videos for college coaches to better pinpoint your athlete's play on the field. Watching our video will help your athlete improve progressively throughout the season and may lead to a college scholarship. Varsity Media is now booking ISO videos for the spring, but spots are limited. Contact us today for lacrosse, baseball, softball, and tennis by calling 516-403-2050 or emailing ben@varsitymedia.net.
Back here at East Islip, opening face-off of quarter number 4, the money quarter. And it's Wantagh right now doubling up. Host East Islip. Dylan Butler, Brian Soper, our entire Varsity Media crew. Thanks for joining us on a Saturday evening in East Islip. A little bit of a day-night doubleheader here at EI. We had the girls' game earlier against Pat Med. Ground ball picked up. East Islip ball.
Right, if you're Coach Zumo, you say we got to win the first 2 minutes of this fourth quarter. Try to get 2 or 3 early. Cut that lead to 5.
Well, that's the thing, right? They have the firepower.
Just need the ball.
Yeah. Here's Bernardos. He's been kept off the scoreboard, or the score sheet, I should say, to this point. Back to Hannigan now. He's been that IQ guy last couple of years. Kalinowski up top. Low fire, Madden, kick save, and a beauty by Pissarro.
He's feeling it, right? He's feeling it. Unbelievable save, down low. Great little offense by East Islip to be denied. Boom, right, like a cat off hip low. That's not easy, folks.
That could be, you know, you can call him that now, right? Gianni the Cat Pissarro.
That was unbelievable. That experience last year was just so vital for him, getting a taste of it. You know, big shoes to fill, but he filled them last year when needed.
Yeah, that's the thing. A lot of his opportunity came, right? Obviously, look, Wantagh put big numbers up. You give guys a chance to step in there, and that's what Pissarro was given.
Yeah, 76 saves last year. You know, was the 9-5 the Suffolk team beat the rising junior game. He was co-MVP.
Parker wide. Possession stays with EI, but it's only 8 on the shot clock. Hanging up top. Parker's got to put it on frame. He does not. So there's 2 seconds now on the shot clock. And Hannigan will just fire it high into the sky. Usually kind of dump it in the corner.
Yeah, first time I've seen that.
And I think part of the reason you dump it in the corner, that's where you restart, right? So actually that...
I think it's almost like, what are you doing?
Yeah, exactly, because that gave Wantagh the opportunity to restart from midfield.
Yeah, it's a 35, 40-yard difference, head start.
Not that these guys needed any extra help, right?
Zero help.
Martini.
You know, you're going to have to try to, you know, take some chances if you're East Islip. Quick doubles.
Well, Passione gets knocked down in the crease, so there's advantage EI.
You need stops and scores.
You need to clear as well. That has not been easy today against Wantagh. There's Black. He will get the clear. Looking for more now. Getting top side. Oh, the hammer comes in. Is that Martini? It was Dylan Martini.
Yeah, he plays a little safety. He's not just a running back. Lays the boom for the Warriors.
And now it's Nicholson. And now with a 14-7 lead, yes, you have a shot clock, but Soap, you could utilize a lot of that time now.
Yeah, 60 is a long time. The thing about Wantagh is they really make very few unforced errors. They're either getting a shot on net that has to be saved or it's going in, and that puts a lot of pressure on the defense and the goalie.
Nicholson fires wide. 30 on the shot clock.
I mean, Walendowski's been good today, right? And they still have 14 goals on the board.
Passione. And no backup there, so it'll be East Islip ball.
You let the 3 down look now by the Wantagh attack.
Well, Black is kind of waiting for it. And then finally over was Rizzuto.
Yeah, he said, I'm going to do it myself.
And how many EI guys were on that side of the field, right? It's a little bit of a sloppy start to the season for East Islip. This is game number 2, though, for Wantagh.
Yeah, 1 game under your belt is huge. But 2 scrimmages, you know, Farmingdale and Hills to set up the season for the Redmen.
Yeah, Hills will be very good this year again.
Yeah, they had a big win against Mamaroneck. Went up to scrimmage, you know, Darien and New Canaan today.
Oh, Martini, and he gets a crease violation. But yeah, if you're Zumo, right, that's your scrimmages are against 2 county champions from a year ago. Quick outlet. Ball hits the turf. Billy Bast was going for it there.
Yeah, looked like Luke Martini hustled back to get that check on the Oneonta commit.
Little sloppy ending here. And we come the other way. Nicholson checks the rear view. Fires high. Walendowski the save. The rebounds. Flag thrown. They haven't signaled for the goal, and I thought that was a crease violation. Let's see. So no goal, but you'll have a 1-minute slash.
I've had a few of those today. Walendowski's like, what do I have to do? Making saves. They keep popping up to the Warriors. It's like a magnet in their stick. Great save. Robs Nicholson. But that rebound goes to Dylan Martini. Called a slash.
So 6:31 left. Wantagh's been very good on their man up.
It was a nice clear by fourth over, right? Sophomore, pulled up as an 8th grader. Getting bigger and stronger. Legged that one out by himself.
Passione. What a look to the crease.
That's stealing. Too easy. Elite vision by Passione to a deadly goal scorer hanging out on the pipe. Whoop. Skip that thing through. It's not in his stick for a millisecond. That quick release, hands for days. Luke Martini.
Yeah, goal number 4 on the game for him, and assist number 4 for Passione.
Yeah, he's playing that quarterback spot, kind of the trigger spot up top, kind of a 3-3 type look. Those pipes are dangerous. Nice find.
So East Islip. We know they'll rebound from this one.
Yeah, I think you want to get some juice on this end, right? Get some shots on net.
We mentioned, right, everyone's scoring in your attacking trio and your first midfield for Wantagh. It's been the opposite, really. You have 3 for Parker, 2 for Black, and then Hannigan has 1. Another save for Pissarro. Vinny Fantuzzi on the second mid, he has a goal as well, but a lot of your main offensive threats haven't been able to get it done. Gendels goes low, Walendowski the save, but they'll say there was a push.
Yeah, Walendowski, big save. Nice save by Pissarro as well. I like how he throws those outlets, right? He doesn't underthrow, he overthrows it, allows for Gendels to run into it. Just smart goaltending, well coached.
And considering how good Wantagh's been today, like, you'd be hard pressed to say there's one like player of the game, right? I mean, maybe you can maybe say Passione with 3 and 4. Pissarro has been excellent. Look at Loftman just muscling through while Dowski got a piece. But yeah, so many weapons.
Yeah, and the defense really settled in. You know, after a 3-0 start, really settled in. You know, East Islip hasn't really been able to draw slides against Wantagh. There's been a lot of shots from the outside.
Martini, spin cycle, finish, filthy from Dylan Martini.
Yeah, he's just an elite athlete. His ability to shake. You know, just think about this, right? I can't believe he's the first Wantagh football player to win the Thorpe Award. You know, kind of that Tewarton Award for Long Island football. You know, and he beat out guys like Kama and Vialta. Just a multi-sport athlete, and on the lacrosse field, it's that athleticism with that skill. You rarely see it, and he has it for days. It's just a pleasure to watch.
You mentioned that number, right? Number 22. That was Scott DeVerner's number, a Wantagh lacrosse player who died in his sleep in the summer of 1999, going into his junior year. Was slated to be on the top midfield line of that team that won the state championship in 2001. So it's a number as Black goes to the cage. Pissarro with the save.
They changed it. New goalie. He doesn't matter.
But it's voted on before the first scrimmage for a senior to wear, usually. That is the case, obviously, with Dylan Martini. Another shot, another save. That's Brendan O'Callahan in the cage now for Wantagh.
Yeah, Coach Polo said he has a ton of confidence in O'Callahan. Very capable if needed, a junior.
Some previous recipients for that number 22 last year, that was Thomas Conway. Before that, Anthony Sakos played at LIU. Before that, Sean Carlo at Stony Brook.
Yeah, you can't go anywhere at Wantagh without seeing that 22. Coach Polo has it on his jacket. He was a JV assistant. Then he was an assistant on the varsity with Coach Schiffo, who does a tremendous job. Whether it's a golf outing, whether it's a preseason kickoff, 22 always gets remembered in Wantagh, and most of the kids wear it in college as well.
So another penalty here. Well, we have an opportunity. We could maybe show you guys the upcoming schedule for these teams. Kind of where they go from here. There you see Wantagh. No easy games, right?
Yep.
This year for the Warriors.
Port's hot, right? Another win today. Close game, right? 3-0 for Port Washington. Garden City, sorry, Coach Negus, right? They beat Ward Melville today. The Chiefs are hot, right? Starting out 2-0. And Ridgefield, Connecticut, right? They are a powerhouse in Connecticut. No rest for the weary if you're the Warriors, but that's what Coach Polo wants to do, play the best.
And then EI, they'll take on a Shoreham team that is young. We just saw them, but there is some talent there. Rocky Point, excellent goalie out there in Rocky Point. Bayport, a little bit younger this year for them, and John Glenn as well.
Yeah, watch the film, get better.
Hagen feeds up top, lefty rip, and the finish by Kalinowski.
Little trickery behind the net, little fake flip. Hannigan skips it through, left-handed shot by the captain, Jack Kalinowski. Stony Brook lit the lamp 24 times last year. Been on varsity since his freshman year, can really shoot it. Nice find by Hannigan, skip past Kalinowski. Big win for Stony Brook today. They took down Fairfield, previously undefeated Stags.
Canfora tries the Fogo goal. He'll get it on the bounce.
Little deflection. Luke Perfetti's beside himself. It's okay, young man. It's okay. It happens. Canfora wins it to himself. One thing on his mind, scoring a goal, little fake.
Hey, it won't matter like in 10 years, right?
Oh, that's a top corner.
He comes
rip.
to the Illuminati. Yeah.
It's a news day. Check the website, Canfora.
Yeah. The West Con commit.
Harkin tried to get on the face-off goal action.
Kinnear to Black.
See Anthony Grassi in there for Wantagh. D midi roll. Miles Hogan.
Is Bernardo's up top. Black has a short stick matchup. Low shot. Nice save by O'Callahan.
Yeah, you know, nice job getting down low. Definitely looks like he has real quick reflexes to get down onto the turf.
Bernardo's back out to Black. Lefty rip, and a finish for Black.
You know, you talk about bright spots, right? You got to look at it, take each game, you learn from it. One thing, if you're Coach Zumo, right, you like to see the guy that maybe worked the hardest in the offseason. You name him captain. You love to see him start this year off shooting the ball, having some success. Is that 3 goals for him, Dill?
It is. 3 and 1 for Black.
Is three Black on the roulette wheel? And
I would imagine it is.
It's been a while since I got to the.
We could have the Mohican Sun after if you want. Timeout East Islip. Chance for us to show you. You mentioned before the college guys who are playing next level. So always one of my favorite graphics that we show. Here are some of those guys from EI.
Yeah, Matt McEntee, 276 points. You know, looking for some time on the Cuse. It's a tough roster to crack. Jack Kern, pace, right? Big win today by Coach Mariano and the pace setters. Right, Baldino had 3 today after 50 goals last year. Ferrara, one of my favorite players to watch last year, transferred to EI after being at Islip, stud. And you got Ryan Smith at Cortland, and looks like you know, Braden Black's going to join him as a Red Dragon.
And then for Wantagh, the Warriors, again, you're building a program. They've got some guys also playing on the next level.
Yeah, Jake Martini, Army, big win today against UNC. Sean Carlo at Stony Brook, again, another big win for the Seawolves.
Look at the Adelphi pipeline.
Go Panthers! AU, right? Carlo Greaves. Little help with that last name, Joe? You want it?
I thought you had it.
Fazine? Sorry, apologize, right, Danny? They played today at 5. It was Alumni Day. I couldn't make it, but I'm committed to Varsity Media.
Well, we appreciate your commitment. I suspect, knowing some of those alums, that goes long at Adelphi.
Yeah.
There's an after party, I suspect,
yeah,
somewhere.
Doc O'Grady's starts at 9.
Ends at question mark. So Wantagh trying to close out a really impressive victory. EI's sliced into the deficit. Now an opportunity, right, for some of the 2s and 3s for Wantagh to step on the field. 13, Frank Falco up top. That one bounced. Good hustle to the loose ball. That was Luke Gonsowski. Shot clock violation. But the Warriors get the ball right back. Miles Hogan out of the box. Final 24 seconds. Wantagh could just hold it here, and they'll come away with a really impressive road win against one of the top teams in Suffolk County. Falco, though, wants to get something there.
Not on him.
Not on Walendowski, no. And that puts a bow on this one. Wantagh, they took a punch early, so responded the way that champions do, and they come away with a 16-10 win on the road here at Sal Ciampi Field.
Yeah, Coach Polo speaks about getting 1% better each day. Well, I think they may have gotten more than 1% better today. The usual suspects on offense. Really liked what I saw out of the second game by Pizarro in the net. And facing off, right, unsung hero of this game, Jake Harkin, getting more possessions for the Warriors.
And then he had Dylan Martini and Luke Martini. So the Martini brothers combined for 8 goals and 1 assist. Devin Passione with 3 goals and 4 assists. Joe Nicholson, 2 goals and 1 assist. Matt Jacobello with a pair as well. Carter Loftman with 1 and 1. Johnny Gendels with an assist. You mentioned Pissarro in the cage. A balanced, really impressive look for Wantagh.
Yeah, little goalie handshake there. Walendowski showing respect to Pizarro, 2 very, very good goalies on Long Island. I think Braden Black's a bright spot. Ryan Parker, you know what you're going to get from him. Perhaps just go back to the drawing board, right? Maybe work on a few things if you're East Islip, but they're not far away, and they're going to make a run this year. Coach Zumo and his staff are the best in the business at developing talent.
Yeah, you mentioned Parker and Black, 3 goals apiece for them. Black also with an assist. Then Hannigan and Kalinowski with 1 and 1, and then Fantuzzi and Kenfora both found the back of the net for East Islip. So that'll do it here from Sal Champi Field. Final score again, Wantagh 16-10 victors for our entire Varsity Media crew. Our executive producer, Ben Turchin. Our technical director, Chris Sweeney. Laurent Pierre. Brian Kazaks. Bringing you all those great moving images. For Brian Soper, I'm Dylan Butler. Thanking you for joining us from East Islip High School. We look forward to seeing you next time right here on the Varsity Media Sports Network.